Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video is about the brand new Nars holiday palette, and this year's holiday palette is a 9-pan. So it is called the Endless Nights Eyeshadow Palette, and I also got the cheek palette, but that is going to be a separate video. I am going to do them separately, but I'm very excited about this release. I did do the review last year on the Stargaze. It was a 12-pan, and I really did like it. However, what I have found with Nars is that I kind of prefer their 9-pan size. I don't know, certain brands, I like certain sizes. For example, Natasha Denona, I ended up decluttering all my minis. I like the midi size. All of the palettes that I have for Natasha Denona right now are the midi size. I have decluttered all the mini and I never had any of the larger ones. And the same kind of goes for Nars. I like the Nars 9-pans. I think that when you have the 12-pans, there's a lot of repetitive shades. I think the 9-pans suit the palettes well. That's just a personal preference. So when the holiday palette this year was a 9-pan, I was very excited. So it came in today. It went on sale on the 18th, and it is the 20th that I'm recording this, and it came today. So I am recording this pretty late. This is the palette right here. I think it's gorgeous. Now, is it repetitive? Yes. Nars is repetitive. Nars knows what works for them and it works. But I will say, I think it was the Orgasm Rising palette, which I am going to do a swatch comparison. That palette is, it's very simple. It's very, there's not a lot to it, but whenever I need an easy palette that's a go-to, I sometimes pull out that palette and it's very consistent. I always will get a beautiful look with it. And I feel like that is going to be the same with this one. I think it's gorgeous. Now this one does have a little bit more versatility. It has a little bit more depth. So very excited to get into this one and dig into it as well. So now a little bit about the palette. It states a ultimate party palette, unforgettable night, catch eyes across the dance floor with a limited edition palette of 9 high pigment seductive eyeshadows, from shimmering neutrals to pops of pink and purple. Pure pigments suspended in a unique liquid binding system create rich, high impact color in just one stroke, while silky texture effortlessly builds and blends from subtle to bold, featuring an exclusive holiday edition compact decorated with glitter. So the compact is absolutely stunning, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it online or on the camera, but it is really pretty. And this does look like it's glitter, kind of inside, but it's really pretty. I really like the packaging. I also like that it's flat, which just makes it easier to store. And then if you want to just see the cheek palette, which I will be doing a separate video, they match, so I do like that as well. And I'll just open the cheek palette really quick so you can see. But very excited to get into this, and we'll talk about the shades now. Okay, so I just want to do a quick side-by-side comparison. I will do some swatch comparisons later on, but here is the Endless Nights palette, and then this is the Orgasm Rising. So similar, I mean, we'll see if how similar they are once we do some swatches. So again, Nars is consistent in their color story, so, but it sells and it works for them. And then the other one that I think is similar that I have is the Summer Solstice. This was also a limited edition, and this one I think might be closer than the Orgasm Rising. So we'll do some swatch comparisons to that. I also do have Climax, but that is a completely separate color story, so it's not even worth comparing. But now let's swatch the shades. Okay, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna go top left to right and then the second row. So starting with the top row left to right, we have Let Loose, which is a shimmering pink champagne. Medea, which is a sparkling iridescent lilac. Pulp Fiction, a satin mulberry. Second row, we have Starlit, a sparkling bronze gold. After Dark, metallic purple umber. and Bus Stop, a shimmering ruby red. And the bottom row is all mattes. We have Young Heart, a matte soft blush pink, Moonlight, a matte raspberry, and Velvet Rope, a matte plum brown. So you have 3 mattes, 1 satin, and then you have shimmering and sparkling shades. So this already has a lot more depth than the Orgasm Rising palette. And I also think it may be similar to the Summer Solstice, but I think the Summer Solstice was more warm. But I really like this color story. I know it's more pink, it's more purple and plum, and it's been done, but this shade right here, this sparkling iridescent lilac, I love these 2 shades. I think are gorgeous. I like this one. I'm really excited to dig into this palette. Okay, so I'm just gonna dig into it. I am going to start with this Young Heart soft, or the matte soft blush pink as my transition shade. I'm only doing 1 look today because I'm just trying to get this video up and do it quickly. And it is actually really late. So let me find my mirror. So I am just going to be doing 1 look, and then I'm trying to film the blush video as well. So just gonna do the, and I'll be honest, these are palettes where you're going to get, there's only 3 matte shades. So you're not going to get a huge variety of looks. You can, I think I could definitely use that matte raspberry and just go very, very lightly as a transition shade if I wanted to. But I'm going to just go with the blush pink today. And then I think where you're really going to get the difference is those shimmers and their sparkling shades. Okay, there it is all over the lid, and I love the Nars eyeshadow formula. It's just very consistent. I think that's just probably the easiest thing to say. I think it's one of those eyeshadow brands, or just brands in general, that is kind of underrated, where it's there, it's a good brand, it's a solid brand, but as far as, you don't hear a lot of people like talking about it. I don't think it's new and exciting. I think it's consistent. So I'm going to go in with this darkest shade here, the matte plum brown, just on the outer edge and in the crease like I normally do, and just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. And then I will also line the bottom lash line with both of these shades as well. Okay, so I went in on that shade. I just kind of went in, and I did very, very little. It is a very pigmented deep shade, blended out really nicely. So I just went in on the outside and then brought it in. I didn't add more color to it. I just put it in and then brought the color into the crease. So now I'm trying to decide which of these shades to do, and I'm leaning towards, I'm gonna go in with Starlit. So I was leaning towards the shimmering ruby red, but I'm gonna go in with Starlit. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with Starlit. And I'm just gonna go in on my finger and see how it applies on the lid. And let me see, I'm probably gonna get an eyeshadow brush and see if that works better. So with these, I think they're going to apply better with an eyeshadow brush than with my finger. Okay, went in with Starlit all over the lid, really pretty. And I think if you changed it with any of the shimmers, it would completely change the look. And that's kind of where you're gonna get it. And next I'm gonna go in with that shimmering or sparkling iridescent lilac, which is Medea. I am going to put that on the inner corner and see how that looks and get that. That is really pretty. I love that shade. And that shade you could probably put all over the lid too, but I wanted to use a couple of the shades, as many as possible. So just gonna put that on the inner corner. And that one has just so much sparkle. It's so pretty. Okay, so I went ahead and did the Medea on the inner corner and on the brow bone. You can see both there. The lower lash line, I did go in with this Young Heart, the pale. I love this color. This is a really unique, I don't think I have any mattes like this. I'd have to really check. I probably do, but I don't, it's not like a typical pink. And then I was gonna go in with the last shade, but then I ended up going in with Pulp Fiction, which is the Satin Mulberry, just on the outer edge, just to use another color. So, I mean, I think is it special? No. Is it pretty? Yes. Is this something that I know I'm going to get a consistent, beautiful look every time I wear it? Absolutely. I love it. I think it's great. I love NARS quality. But you know, it is $49. So it is $49. You're getting 9 shades. I think it's worth it. I love the packaging. But it is $49, and with so many palettes coming out right now, we've got the whole Pat McGrath collection coming out soon. ABH just came out with a palette. I mean, there's so many things, and there's been leaks of a brand that I'm not going to mention that I love, has 2 9 pans coming out. I'm not going to say the name, but there's been leaks, and so I don't know how much those are going to cost. So those are coming out. So maybe you want to wait on this one or pause on this one. But if you are interested in it like I am, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's really pretty. I think it's worth it. But let's compare it to those 2 palettes, the Orgasm Rising as well as the Summer Solstice, to see how it compares. Because I think that's really going to be a difference, is like if you have one of those, then maybe you can skip this one. Okay, so on the top is Endless Nights, and on the bottom is Summer Solstice. This is the one that's definitely the most similar. You'll see that Summer Solstice only had 2 matte shades, this one and this one. The rest were shimmers or metallics, whereas Endless Nights has 4 matte shades, and the matte shades, or actually 3 matte shades and 1 satin, and the matte shades are more you know, pink or burgundy or red. This pink is kind of like a purpley pink. It's very unique. But as some of the shimmers are very similar. This one is very similar. I did match them up. This is not in order. I did match them up to colors that were the most similar. So this one right here, the shimmer here, the shimmer here, very, very similar. So if you have Summer Solstice and you're not interested in these matte shades, then maybe you want to skip it. However, if you missed out on Summer Solstice, or you really like this matte shades with these metallics and shimmers, then you might want to look into Endless Nights. Okay, so this is on the top, Endless Nights. Bottom is the Orgasm Rising palette that came out earlier this year. It is limited edition, however, it is still available. So that just tells you, as far as limited edition, this one did not sell out. Now you can see it is similar, but it's definitely got a lighter tone. The matte shades are brown, just like Summer Solstice. So there's a couple similar shades. I think this one is definitely more different than the Summer Solstice one. However, this one is still available. So you're going to get also a lighter look. The matte shades are, deeper in the Endless Nights, but in Orgasm Rising, they're a little bit lighter. I always get like a really pretty light look with Orgasm Rising. So that's the difference between the two. I think there's definitely a big enough difference if you wanted to get this palette, but if you have Orgasm Rising, then you could absolutely skip this one as well. Okay, so those are the comparisons with the NARS Orgasm Rising and the NARS Summer Solstice. They're very similar, but I think they're different enough where if you are interested in this one, it's definitely worth picking up. But again, the quality is the same. You're not gonna. I think the shimmers are gorgeous, but they're different than Natasha Denona, than Pat McGrath. So I like this. I really like this. I'm very happy that I have it. This to me is a great travel palette. I might even take it with me this weekend. So I don't know. I think it's gorgeous. But you're gonna get a variety of looks, but not real variety. It's going to be, you can definitely get different looks with the different shimmers that you put on your lid, and you can mix and match with the mattes, but it's not going to give you a huge variety of options as well. But again, I'm not here to sell you on it or to convince you otherwise. But if you are interested in it, I do think it has good quality. I think the shimmers are gorgeous, and I think the mattes are really pretty as well. And I really like that pale pink. So there you go. With that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye, everyone.